Welcome everyone to DM Podcast episode 43. We have got a belter for yous today. We've got a lot to talk about. New updates on Uber. Me getting threatened by Uber, which has kind of pushed me towards going back to Alpha. Talking about Lecky cars, new updates, Delta raising money, Manchester Airport updates, and a bit of Uber change and general taxi and private hire news. Mick, are you seeing on the screen here or not? No, you're not. That's sad. I've got a different screen than you, and I can see you, but on the actual podcast screen, I can't. So it's all good. So that's it, guys. Episode 43, and we are here and ready. We got two people in the chat, Martin and Martin from Newcastle. They are, by the looks of it, tools. They're both from Newcastle, and they're arguing because Martin, our YouTube member Martin, right? Works Martin's area. He's on the hacks, and he's on Uber. So I think there's a bit of Hackney Uber Northeast rivalry here. Martin, join the membership, lad, so you can actually argue in real life.
He said he's going to join soon properly. He said.
Oh, mate, welcome to the party, pal. So yes, we are talking about general news and stuff like that. We're getting distracted by the two Martins in the chat argument. So let's get focused. Especially Mark and Mick, because they're the distracting ones. They get distracted easily.
Says you.
So anyway, guess what?
Go on, what? Your Tesla broke again?
I forgot to actually bring that up. My Tesla did break again. Thank you for pointing that horrific news out, Mick. Yes, my Tesla broke again. I got a warning the other morning, and it said battery failure. And it was a big red warning, and my bottom fell out. It was terrifying. But it was only the 12-volt battery, which was actually a nice, pleasant surprise. And also supply and fitted by Tesla themselves, 180 quid, which I thought was actually quite reasonably priced. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, it got fixed anyway this week. And then Uber ended up threatening me, which I'll go more into detail, which pushed me onto, stuff and going back to Alpha. So I signed up to Alpha this week. As you know, if you're on the Patreon or the membership, you'll be seeing the content before anyone else. And also today, which is filming, which was last week, I've done a first shift Alpha video. Done a little morning rush before I come and film this. That is on the Patreon and YouTube membership as well. Go consider joining and signing up to that. We've also got a new chat on Patreon. Let's have a quick look at this before we start. Where are we? We have got the new chat. All different chat rooms, South, challenge ideas, North, airports, Uber, content ideas, and it's all free. You just go to Patreon and sign up for free. Email, log in, and then that's it. You can access the chat completely free. Then you upgrade your membership if you want to access the juicy content and the private WhatsApp group and member chat. Now listen, yes, I did go out in Alpha this morning. Can I tell you a funny story? A little snippet of the video that you can see on Patreon. So my first job was Prescott, yeah, and it was on the job. It was training station, which is weird. I've never heard that before in my life. Drove to the training station in Prescott, phoned the customer up, and went, I'm outside. And he went, where are you? Can't see it. I went, I'm at the training station. He said, no, the train station. So I don't know if the Alpha took the details wrong or the customer gave the details wrong anyway. So I was about a mile away from the pickup. So by the time I drove to the actual train station, not the training station, they weren't there. So my first job in 8-9 months on Alpha was a no-show. but because I went at the training station, I was at the train station. Yeah, I couldn't no-show it on the system. I either had to drive back to the training station to no-show it in the app, or I phoned up the office and got them to no-show it. And then the rest of the shift is on the video. Go check it out to Patreon. But yeah, it was I'm still happy. I'm still happy that I went back. But I'd love to hear your feedback, because obviously you're both still on Uber, but Mick's recently dabbled on Alpha as well, haven't you? In the bus, was it? And I was just thinking, this is a good little conversation starter just to talk about What do you reckon, guys? Do you reckon it's a good idea, bad idea? These days, the pros and cons, what do you reckon?
I can only go off my own experience, really, and
You were in the bus, weren't you, Mick?
Yeah, and
Just to clarify. Yeah.
I was solely committed to Alpha when I was in the bus, but then a week late, well, it wasn't a week later because I'd done all over Christmas.
Solely dedicated. A week later, I thought, no, I'm not doing that.
It wasn't a week later, was it? Because I'd done all over Christmas with them.
Yeah.
I'd done the 2 weeks over Christmas with them, and then I'd done a week into January. Now, January after Christmas, yeah, I can understand it being quiet, blah, blah, blah. But I was also still speaking to lads on Uber, and they were moving. What done it for me was the fact that I'd come out one night. What made me, obviously, was changing back to car. The reason I went to Alpha was basically because of the rates.
In the bus?
In the bus, yeah. And I was coming out and mainly doing car work and doing bus jobs. Doing car jobs in a bus just wasn't viable, especially on Uber's X rates. Just wasn't viable for me at all, and that was the sole reason why I moved to Alpha. But then obviously I sold the bus, and then it was time to think about it. Do a stick with Alpha, go with Alpha, carry on with Alpha. I was more on the decline of like, you sit round a hell of a lot more, and the passenger volume seems to be a hell of a lot more on Uber. Like, I do a job with Alpha, and you seem to like. I found myself looming straight back. I used to work around Pickton Clock. I've always done that when I've worked with Alpha, Pickton Clock, Smithdown, and that gives me opportunities to go everywhere else. I used to sit at Pickton Clock when I was sitting round. So that used to be my home spot. I'd always end up back at Pickton Clock and sitting for 15, 20 minutes for the next job. Every time I'd done a job from Alpha, do you know what I mean? And that's one night a lad came out. I'd been out since, I think it was one evening, it was like 5 o'clock. Might have been a little bit later, actually, say 6, 7 o'clock. And I was out at like 10. He'd come out around 10, 11 on Uber. I'd been out about 3-4 hours and done like 47 quid. It was a quiet night. And then he'd come out at 10 o'clock on Uber. At the midnight point, I was on like 55, 58 quid. And he was on 45 quid. In 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
This was in the first week of January, and I was like, wow, he's come out, done 2 hours. I've been out for 5 hours at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that stuck in my mind when I sold the bus, and I thought, I'll go back to Uber in the car and see how it is, and I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it.
You love it now, don't you?
Yeah. So, what about you, Mark? Any experience in local companies compared to Uber? Or you've just kind of gone to Uber, haven't you? Because I know you used to work private locals in the past, haven't you?
I used to do locals all the time, and then I got into this airport firm, and I went back to Uber, but only because of the commission base. Because the locals, it goes on how many jobs you do. So if you do something like, I don't know, anything from 0 up to, well, 1 job up to 20 jobs, 25 jobs, it's something almost 40% commission. So I probably only do flipping 3-4 hours a day Uber or anything like that. So it's not beneficial. That's why I went to Uber. But the locals, better rates, but I can, if I go out and do 4 or 5 hours on the locals, I could probably do twice as many jobs on Uber, probably in 3 times as many. I like to keep moving. I can't sit around. Yeah. And also with the locals, it's all zonal. So you sit in one zone, you could be 6 or 6, and you're sat there, and you think, right, I'm going to move to the next zone, and all of a sudden you're back of the queue for 10 cars.
Back of the queue, yeah. Do you know what, right? I had a little snippet this morning. I was doing my own test this morning, so I didn't do good this morning, but it's explained in the video. But what I do like about Alpha, as for example, because I don't use it, but even just a local company, is when you do get a job offer, you kind of don't have to really cherry pick. You kind of know exactly how much kind of rate you're going to be on, exactly how much commission you're going to pay. It's very structured. Do you know what I mean? And you just feel like it's like, you know exactly where you stand with the local companies. Do you know what I mean? And now because Uber's commission is so high, even some companies' part-time commission, you're still left with more money. Do you know what I mean? Because before I went back to Alpha, I spoke to one of the managers and I wanted to quiz him before I actually went over and explained that I'm not a full-time driver. I do mainly airports, bit of chauffeur work, and also the content stuff. And I said to him, "I mean, listen, mate, let me just run through some jobs with you, and you can tell me what I would have been left with after their 30% commission, which is this very small window of part-time commission, because they favour full-time drivers with their commission, right? And out of the four jobs, we compared, three. Alpha paid more money. That's not including tips. Alpha would have left me more money with their worst commission at the start of 30%. Because their commission goes 30%, then 25%, and then it's capped at £130 per week, which works out around 15% over a full-time driver. Do you know what I mean? So, like, my part-time driving, it seems like with the tips and stuff, I'll be left with more money after each job. Now, what Mick said is bang on, is Uber will be busier with more passengers and more requests. Do you know what I mean? And you can average a good little hourly wage with them, can't you? But the amount of miles you do and the rates you get are really poor. Where I'd rather now trial it anyway is work the local. And I know I might get less jobs or do less work or bigger waiting time. But every job you do is going to be worth your while doing because your expenses are mileage based. It's not time based. So even though Uber's new algorithm is more pay for the time, our expenses are still per mile, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And also, I'm getting rid of my car at the end of the year. I want to try and protect the miles a bit more. And it feels like you do a hell of a lot less mileage on the locals than you do on Uber, don't you?
Well, yeah, you will do 100%. I do feel like, because you've done the test on that, haven't you, Matty? That like we're on the same wage from last year to this year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out on time,
but the rates are worse. We're on the same hourly wage, yeah, but you're doing a hell of a lot more miles than last year to hit that hourly rate. Do you know what I mean?
But then you've got to consider the likes of everyone bases it on what they've done hourly and how long they've been out and everything. That's the way the market is. No one ever says to you, "Oh, I've done 500 miles." 500's a bit extreme, but no one ever says to you, "I've done 200 miles today, but I only done."
It's all about the money, isn't it?
It's always about, I've been out 6 hours here and done 120 quid. Sound that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the mentality that Uber wants you to have, don't they? Especially with the new drivers.
No one ever looks at it. And now the fact that electric cars are coming in, mileage really isn't a big issue, is it? I mean, you pay what, 2p a mile?
Home charge, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's probably the bottom line. Yeah, okay. As much as
the thing is the depreciation in it. More miles you do. Do you know what I mean? If you do 1,000 to 1,200 miles a week on a Uber, full-time Uber, like 7-day a week jobby, do you know what I mean? That's a lot of mileage to go in your car with the restrictions.
Is it better, as well as like when we said, is it better settling or owning now? And
a lot of settle companies are doing mileage caps now, don't?
Are they?
Are they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been told. Especially like your big ones, your Uber-backed ones, like your WeFlexes and all them.
Do they like 1,000 a week? Well, 48,000 a year in it, because they say you have 4 weeks off. But
it'd be interesting I'm going to clock my mileage 1 week, starting next week.
See what you do.
See what I do.
Because you don't do nowhere near as much work as some of these full-timers.
No, I don't. But it'll have
The guys are 7 days a week job and all that.
Yeah. No, I've got a life.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just mixing up for me. It's just a nice change.
Well, you needed it.
I just wanted to check.
You needed it anyway. It's the best thing for you. You needed it.
Why?
To be fair, because you were stale on Uber. You just weren't. It wasn't motivating.
It.
And it was like that was the same way I was with my bus with Uber. And when I went to Alpha, I was really enjoying it. And I really wish. I'd like to. The big test I'd like to do was get Alpha's passengers volume and put it into Uber's system.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see how
little you'll learn. I don't reckon you'll learn much at all.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What foot flow? How many customers?
Yeah, how many? Like I don't know whether it feels like it's slower on Alpha because of the system.
No, I reckon it's slower on Alpha because I reckon it is less passengers on Alpha. I reckon the sheer volume that you have on Uber is unreal, mate. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, different areas, different matters. But like Mark said, he gets so many offers, just ping, like 10 mile away, 12 mile away, 8 mile away. The volume is crazy.
That's what I'm saying to you, Matty, because you won't get them offers on Alpha sitting in the zonal system.
Can I just clarify that quick? Sorry to interrupt. Can you hear the dog barking?
No.
Sad, because she's doing me head and she's barking. But as long as you can't hear it, it's all right.
It's like, look at that. That's this morning. 6 while 8:45. Right? I did 7 jobs. I was offered 40 and I did 50 quid. It's like, Mick,
was that 3 hours?
That was 2 3/4, just short of 3 hours.
That's not good then, really, is it? 3 hours more than us, 50 quid.
And previous to that, hold on a minute. That was yesterday's. But the thing is, for the first hour and a half, that I probably did about 30 quid in the last hour because it was dead. But what I'm getting at is the trips offered. I got offered 40 jobs, and I did 7. So like Mick, we've had this conversation, haven't we? Like you did, was it last week? You did 12 jobs. You offered 12, and you did 12 jobs.
You should talk for 2 seconds about that.
Yeah.
So, but with me, like I was saying, I reckon 85%, probably 90% of the jobs I get offered, I just can't do them because they're too far away for what they are.
It's mad that though. It's crazy.
I don't know why. Because I like yesterday, I was in the city centre and I was getting offered jobs at Hillsborough, which is probably 3 mile away, 4 mile away. And in the rush hour, it was going to take me 25 minutes to get there. So I always head that way anyway, but I didn't accept it. But when I got there, I got offered jobs back in the city centre. Weird. And I don't know if it's all to do with my acceptance rate, because my acceptance rate's about flipping 8%.
I don't think it'd be acceptance rate why you're not getting jobs around you.
I generally don't get it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I reckon the acceptance rate affects how many jobs you get. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that you're getting loads, it just means that there's big gaps between drivers and jobs in your place. Do you know what I mean? But let me just go through the comments quick because there's loads. I'm sorry. Yes, Zello, the walkie-talkie. Have a look at that live, It was shocking in Spain, way more expensive, waiting 10-15 minutes for the time to confirm. Definitely felt like the system was designed to encourage people to book local or flag on the street. Ducky, last week on the taxis, lads, after 18 years stretch on Delta, I can't wait to get my life back. 6 shifts left.
Go on.
Fair play to you, Ducky. All the best. I don't remember it correctly. I'm pretty sure you might. Remember I done a video, Uber versus Delta?
Yeah.
That was Ducky. The
first one, was it, yeah?
What?
First, I remember that video as well, the first Uber, first Delta challenge.
Yeah, it was Ducky, yeah. Martin, we do less miles from street rank jobs on the book, it's a lot more, yeah. Mate, fair play to you about the taxis, man. £4.50 first mile, then £1.80 a mile on our tariff. That sounds. Yeah. It's loads of chit chat. Best place for saying. Probably because there's less drivers on the market. Probably there, Anthony, mate. Yeah, sad. But yeah, honestly, I just think with the locals, I just think you know exactly where you stand. But I do think there'll be a hell of a lot less miles, but a lot more waiting. So the only time we'll tell, I've done a little snippet this morning, put it on my Patreon and my YouTube membership, and yeah, going forward, I'm just gonna have a dabble. I even said I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm never doing Uber again, because Uber's very situational. The taxis is very situational. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I might go out to do a little bit of Alpha, do a bit of content. I might do a little bit of Uber, do a bit of content. Do you know what I mean? But that's the whole point of being self-employed, isn't it? We got our own benefits and our flexibility. Yep. But definitely this morning, did enjoy Alpha a bit more.
The amount of people leaving the taxis now that I've been on it around my time of the is it speaks volumes, you know.
I told you though, Mick. What did we say? All our generation leaving. All these new kids coming through. Uber's great. Uber's fantastic. £1 a mile's brilliant. It's better than Tesco. Is coming through. And also the younger generation, they don't look at expenses like we did. We don't break anything down or nothing like that. You just see money coming in. I think it's fantastic. And I think that's the mentality that Uber wants people to have. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, it's conflicted with Uber because you still got the old school people like us and Ducky and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Where now, I reckon going forward, it's going to be playing into Uber's hands, mate. 100%. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, there's another thing I want to talk to you about Uber, like, quick. Is one of the reasons why I went, you know what, stuff it to Alpha. You know, like with Alpha, you can phone them up, or any local company, you can phone up the office, can you? Have a quick chat with them, see what's what, sort your differences out, dead easy, right? So I had a job, I think it's it's going on last week or this week, and I picked up a customer, South Liverpool, right? And I was going to Prescott, and there's the customer, there's Prescott, right? It was a six mile journey. The customer went to me, no, go down to 57. I'm late, which was, and I went, listen, it's going to probably double your miles, and I'll probably update your fare. And he'd be like, listen, I need to get to work. I do this run every day. My car's broke. Get me to work. I went, sound, happy days. Done it. Obviously, took the extra pay, happy days. Dropped them off. Got a £2 tip and a thank you. Congratulations, you're the best. And then I got a warning off Uber saying they've detected potential fraud. And if it continues, I'll be deactivated from working Uber. No message, no contact, no like, reach out to me for my own opinion or anything. And the warning message was that quick. I don't even think they spoke to the customer either. It was just an automated.
That won't be a human sending that out.
Automated.
That'll be an automated
threat.
thing, won't it?
Yeah. But what happens if I had a week where I had 3 of them in a week?
No, but deactivated.
You wouldn't though. You'd get to you'd get to speak to a human before you were deactivated. Very, very unlikely. I'd be very, very surprised if the system can automatically disable a driver.
I've never seen a witness it myself, but I've heard stories. I've heard stories people getting deactivated without hardly any communication and stuff like that.
I wouldn't have took that to heart in the slightest a bit. I know I get where you're coming from, but that to me would have just been brushed under the carpet because I know personally it's an automated message.
Well, I knew it was automated, but what it was the point of where I received that when I was in the process of moving over to Alpha because of the rates, and like you say, because me motivation to work Uber these days is flipping gone to zero. Do you know what I mean? Like I got a phone call last night. Can you run to JLA 8 PM? I was in my pajamas off one of the other operators. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Got dressed and everything, motivation, boom. Do you know what I mean? You tell me to try and get out and do go out at 8 PM on Uber. Wouldn't even turn the app on. Wouldn't even get off the couch. And I think that's my issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With them, like you say, I think I just need to change and mix up.
Yeah, but
you got in the car,
I wouldn't have took that as I know it's probably you were already changing over and whatnot, but
it was the nail in the coffin, as they say.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? The reason it's been sent is because you've gone off track and trying to make more money out of the system and blah, blah, blah. You can understand why it's automated to you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's too many drivers for staff, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I probably would have got spoke to a human if it got deactivated. And then I had to speak to a human and say, oh, why have you been deactivated? And then we've got all this evidence here that the computer's, calculated, you know what I mean? And then just go to the comments then quick. I think everyone's celebrating Ducky's career. Let me have a quick look. Yeah. Oh, my God. So many comments.
I was the same when I first started. Did you start on? Did you start on digital or voice, Ducky?
18 years ago, Mick. You had to be on the radio 18 years ago.
I think it was the transition. It was transition and then.
Yeah. Live
said got a year or two there, I think, on voice.
Live said get Ducky on the podcast. He has a special guest today and speaks about his 18 years. Ducky, if you're up for it, give me a shout. Listen, what I want to talk about, Mark. I know you do a bit of Uber around Sheffield. Have you noticed the update with the multi-stop thing now, where they've shortened the time? Or don't you accept multi-stop jobs?
I don't do it multi-stops.
Or you just ignore them completely?
I've done, in the last week, I've probably done a couple, only because I've not realised I've accepted it.
Oh, or they change it once you've accepted it?
I don't get I still do it. I still do it, but I think the 2 or 3 that I've done, when I've got there, they've been waiting, they've got in, and then they've got out, and then... But I've not noticed that... What you're on about shortening the time?
Yeah, they've reduced it now. So I think it's a little bit more beneficial to the driver, or they're just masking the money within the upfront price anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to tell, but I was just curious about because they have just recently updated the multi-stop, and I didn't know if you noticed the difference or the benefit with it, or you just avoid them.
I'm not. I'm guessing Mick has.
Yeah, Mick's fuming with you, Mark. Mick's fuming with you that you're not doing them.
I'm fuming at the comments off there.
What?
Why?
Read it. You'll understand why. Ducky, I was ill for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, Ducky, I was ill for 2 weeks a few weeks ago. Like, I couldn't get out of bed. I asked Delta to turn me back on for the day so I could pay. They said, no, mate. They've been an 18-year service, mate, and you couldn't do me one day. Oh, God. AZ, it's your sole livelihood, and it's not a message that's nice to receive. Mate, that's shocking, that, mate. Oh, that's... sad, isn't it? Hey. Who are you waving at?
My niece is dropping my daughter off. And so I'm just waving at them.
Just say a little goodbye. Hello and goodbye.
Hello and goodbye.
Why were you getting distracted for?
I said I got distracted. I need to know why you don't do multi-stops.
Why I don't do multi-stops? I don't know. I don't know.
No reason.
Now just...
Same reason you refused 20 jobs a shift.
No, Michael. No. I can't wait. One of the members, Matty's members, Kyle, he's becoming a taxi driver in Sheffield. I can't wait for him to come on, do it, and then back me up.
I reckon he's
after 6-7 months, because they always get good rates, don't they?
I reckon he's going to come on and go, what's your problem, Mark?
Yeah.
Hey, he's going to come on, accept every job in here and love it.
No, he'll get given all the jobs, because that's what they all do, don't they, to the new drivers.
Wait, I'm telling you now, Kyle has been doing flipping those, blood runs for 50p a mile and stuff. He is going to run and do every job that Uber throws at him, mate. Because what he's used to. I'm telling you, mate, he's going to make you look terrible. Hey, have you heard about Thingy, by the way? Have you heard about talking about Delta, Ducky? Let me know if you've donated, mate. But Delta is trying to raise £500,000 to fight Uber's VAT issue. Delta and Vizu have teamed up, haven't they? Have you heard what the court case, guys, yeah? For the VAT. And they're trying to raise £500,000, and they've started like a GoFundMe page to raise the money. And they started it last week. And so far, I think last time I checked, they need 4,999,800 or something like that. They've raised £230 in the last 7 days to raise money to fight Uber. Is that a sign that nobody wants them to fight Uber, or like what's going on there?
I just think that's the taxi trade in general. There's no unity, is there? There's nothing.
We talked about this with the strikes, haven't we, Mark?
Yeah,
same thing.
It's just
a driver's mentality. Would you donate 20 quid to Delta to fight Uber? To contribute to £500,000 to fight Uber for the VAT thing?
No.
I don't think anyone. Yeah, I don't know.
I just as much as I think it's just in a taxi driver's gene to moan.
100%.
100% think it's in the taxi driver's gene to moan, because all these people that moan and 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 moan. Yeah, but you still work for them.
Still do it.
If it was that bad, you'd go somewhere else. You'll do something else.
But do you know what it is, though, Nick? Do you know what it is, though? Once because like Docky's going to find it. He said he ain't done it for 18 years, and I saw one of the comments saying, "Yeah, be back within a week." I've tried leaving the trade 3 times. The longest I've lasted for 3 weeks, because I just can't do it. I can't leave the trade.
You want to box it because you can't be managed again, or you can't work in the shop or the factory or underneath anyone.
Yeah, that and other things. It's the freedom of doing what you're doing. Like, let's imagine now if I work in Monday to Friday, I won't be doing this, would I? I won't be able to do it.
But you've done it for how long?
I've been a taxi driver 12 years.
Full-time taxi driver for 12 years. It's you can make your money.
Hey,
I generally don't think I could work. I don't think I could do Uber full time. It's my private. It's the airport runs that keeps me going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you had no airport runs, whatever, the council come out to it, Mark, going forward, mate, you cannot accept an airport run just as a bit of fun. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you go out on full-time Uber or full-time local, or would you get a new job?
I bet you his mentality would change, though.
I'd do both. I'd double up.
Uber and Vizu?
Mentality would change, I think.
Well, I won't go with Vizu.
No, and he's got
to say, it's pointless to double up, is it? Because then you're going to be hitting with Vizu's 40% commission.
No, I said I wouldn't go with Vizu.
Are you full-time Uber?
No, I'll go. There's a couple of. You've got Vizu, which is the big one, and then you've got small little ones.
You go with one of the local
I'll go
smaller
with one
ones.
Of those.
Okay.
But I don't know.
It's an hard one, mate. I've got no grind to do the locals, mate. I struggle.
I'm telling you, if you didn't have that private side of thing and it was shut off, the door was closed, and that weren't a thing to you, your heads would change, and you'd go.
Yeah, it's because I've got.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You'd go and make your money. You
would. It's a good point. Like if I go, I'll go out to an Uber later. I need some money, or whatever, the locals or whatever. And you go, you know what? I'll leave it because I might get a private or I might get an airport run. Do you know what I mean? You've always got that lingering in the background, haven't you? But if you remove that from your thought process, then you would have to just go out and earn dough, wouldn't you? Because Ducky's just put as well. He's got stuck in a rut, and he's not renewing his license. I think, mate, you should renew your license. I really do. I think that's a bit of a drastic thing. I'd renew it for 30, 40 quid, renew it, and just sit on it, mate. Live, I've absolutely smashed the market Uber, haven't he? Says, how long do you reckon before these local companies go out of business in the big cities? Listen, Live, I actually spoke to the manager at Alpha, and I asked him that question. And I said to him, I went, listen, mate, hand on heart. And he went, as Uber killed Alpha's business. Do you know what I mean? Have they took so much from you? And he went, honestly, they've stunted our growth. And that's what he said. He really does believe that there's still a market and still a part for your local companies. Do you know what I mean? Different mentalities. People prefer the local companies still, and everything else. And he said, yeah, they have massively stunted their growth, but they're definitely, from like last year, the year before, they're still growing as a company. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think in the future, I think Uber will kill the smaller ones like they've done in Liverpool. I could name 4 or 5 local companies that have gone, or Alpha's bought, because they've gone under because of Uber. Do you know what I mean? So, It just depends, mate.
Mm.
Yeah, no working at Delta, isn't it? It is. The problem with Delta, mate, and I feel like what happened with Delta is they left it too late to fight and change and adapt. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why, like, I think One Call's doing all right, Alpha's doing all right. It's because as soon as Uber come in, they started updating the system and trying to match the perks of Uber to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? To try and at least think. I think Delta's on the same app they were 10 years ago, I think. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, I think it feels like other companies have tried to adapt and fight and overcome, haven't they?
Just Delta's stubbornness of, yet they've got this zonal, less settled thingy, but you can only work certain zones in that, do you know what I mean? Just their stubbornness of not just moving from that to commission base has killed Delta.
They're not even commission based, are they?
No, it's zonal. It's zone. You can go and pay $25 a week. I think it's for 3 zones.
Yeah, but you can only work
not even to change
when you got zones, you don't get any work.
No. But they've done it like a reduced settle, but they didn't do it on a commission base. That's a shout, that, Mick. That's probably one of the biggest nail in your coffin then for Delta, isn't it? They never went commission. I'm pretty sure Alpha wasn't commissioned, by the way, before Uber.
Alpha wasn't commissioned before
Uber?
No, Alpha moved to commission based because of Uber.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Companies adapted and changed to fight and go along and go against Uber. Do you know what I mean? Where some companies just did not change, and I think they're the ones that crumbled.
So before Uber then, was it just a flat rate?
Yeah. Like most taxis are, 130, 120 quid a week. It was probably less at the time.
But it was like, you used to, when I first started, I think my settle was £70 a week.
It was like the local Vizu, the firm that it had before City, that's always been commission. They've changed the structure of commission.
For how long though? Because Uber's been here for 5 years, mate, hasn't it? 4 or 5 years.
Like, it's been in Sheffield 9 years.
What has?
Uber.
Oh, actually, it might have been. I don't know when it launched in Liverpool.
So I was doing taxi in 3 years before that for then City, which are now Vizu, and it were based on.
So when you started, were you commissioned with Vizu with
City? Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You must be around the same time they come to us. Then you must be a year after us, because I'm sure I held off.
I'm sure it was July 16.
I'm 8 years on Uber, and I held off like 2 years, 3 years before joining, before they hit the city.
I'll be able to tell you. Let me go on me out.
Oh, Uber never launched 10 years ago, Mick.
They did, mate, I'm telling you.
You know how long it's been?
Yeah.
10 years. Hey, talking about Uber while Mark's looking at that.
That might be with them saying they've been in 9 years. I thought we would have had them before. Was they in Sheffield before us?
9.5 years. I joined when they first come here 9.5 years ago.
So
fair enough.
So was the in Liverpool before Sheffield, or Sheffield before Liverpool?
Unless they just launched UK wide outside of London, so it's around 9-10 years for everyone.
Yeah, I think I
the major cities
joined straight away when they came. I know that much.
Yeah, so it must have been similar to Sheffield.
I think I got 350 quid for joining and all.
Yeah, I remember the startup ones. But you know what though? Someone shared me a TikTok on my TikTok. Messaged me a TikTok, and it was an American Uber, not Eats, driver, and they were literally getting very similar. We're so similar now to their rates. And I think people always say, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of this, it's because of the legal requirement, blah, 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 blah. And I think it was just Uber's game from day one. I've said this for years anyway, but I reckon it's Uber's game for day one to just get what they've gotten in America now. Super cheap rates, pay the drivers at least as they can.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I think before the court case of where they got workers' rights and all that, with the ACDC, I reckon he couldn't have done it until he won those court cases. That's where the rumour comes in, is that Uber funded that, so they get sued so they can change the rules. That's what the rumour is. Not saying none of that's true. But yeah, I think I think that's Uber's end game.
I just think that's how they do. Because we all know one at the beginning, the rates were good, everything were good, everyone was all happy. In your members chat, there's the lads from the northeast. There's Kevin down in Brighton, and we've said for ages, you wait until it hits you, and then they've said now that the rates are coming down, aren't they? So that's how they do it. They go somewhere, they take over a place, all the drivers go because the rates are good, and over time, the rates come down because the customer level is going up.
Well,
I remember 2 years ago.
What grabbed everyone to join Uber on our side. I think.
Remember 2 years ago in the chat, the North East lads. You know, like back in the day with Henry and all that, they were like, boom, boom, this is great, boom, £10 a mile, boom, boom, boom. And they were so much better than us, but they were like 2 years behind us, or it felt like 2 years behind us. And now
Martin's sat there overlooking the sea.
And we were like, wait, just wait your turn, it will be coming. And it's like, it's great. And now he's sending pictures at 10 a.m. with his feet up having a Tim Hortons like that. Going, yes, lovely view. Oh, God. But yeah, I think that's just the way. I just think that was the plan all along. And it doesn't matter what happened over the last 5 years. I think that was the plan all along, mate. Yeah. And like I said, going forward, I think it's going to be that. Going forward. I reckon it's going to be... myself personally, I think in the future, I reckon it could be Uber, local companies, large local companies, and then your taxi, your hackneys. I reckon that's it. In the future, I reckon all your small local companies will go. I still think your private hire companies and your big local companies like your Visus and your Alphas and stuff, they'll still stay. They'll be able to take enough market. But I reckon all the little ones will be gone, and your hackneys and your big local companies and your Uber will stay. Do you know what I mean? Martin's just put in a message saying, shh, I'm back in my house. Do you know what I mean? No. But that's what I'm trying to get at. It was just, it's just fun of them, innit?
Yells.
Oh, God. Right, listen. One thing I did want to say. I know we've talked about EVs quite a lot. Did you see the EV that was purchased for 500 quid? It was a Nissan Leaf with 160,000 miles on the clock, 10 years old, and he bought it for 500 quid. Now, it's still got its everything original about it. It cost him 3-4 grand over the 10 years in all expenses. Trying to obviously show again of not just how good EVs are mileage-wise, which has already been proven. It's about age as well. This is 10 years old and it's still got the original battery and everything else. So the battery's running at 75% capacity now. So the car's got a 60-mile range. And that's it. Yeah, Martin needed a spring and that was it, mate. So it was just a good little proof that maybe the EVs aren't as scary as people think with the longevity of them. And yeah, I'm just thinking, what do you reckon at that? 500 quid for an electric car that has had hardly any maintenance. He must have made a fortune, mustn't he? He went a taxi driver, not, but I mean, saved. Nissan Leaf, I held it for 10 years, drove 150,000 miles. And over those 10 years, it cost him about 4 grand in everything. Servicing, electric, repairs, maintenance.
But now he's got a car that's pretty useless.
He sold it for 500 quid.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 10 years out of it, so it wasn't useless to him, I suppose, but...
So them 10 years, he spent 4 grand on it?
Yeah, and that's all the electric on the 150,000 miles he's drove. All the maintenance, all the servicing, everything, except tyres. Tyres never got mentioned.
So I was going to say after.
That's crazy, that, isn't it? Because if you think about it, 150,000 miles.
My minibus, and I've probably spent 4 grand on it.
In diesel?
Not diesel, obviously. Oh, that includes as Lecky as well?
Yes.
What, you meant maintenance on it?
No.
Fuck. Jesus.
What?
Of course, he saved a fortune if you include...
Just think, Matty, you've probably spent that in the last 18 months that you've had your Tesla.
I haven't, actually. Thank you very much, Mark. But no, seriously, though, hey, it's impressive, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you think about it, if it's 10p a mile, where it's like a really good hybrid, it's like 10p a mile these days, that's 15 grand in petrol. Just for the mileage. Crazy, mate. Crazy. So, yeah, I know you're going back to me Tesla and it's broke, and my wife's Tesla was broke 2 weeks ago and everything else. And yes, you get it. But still, I've done 70,000 miles in my car. I had the 12-volt battery go, 180 quid. I had the heater element go, which was £1,000. And I had the air compressor go, which is £1,000. So 2,200 quid in repairs, not including my tyres and stuff. There's no servicing, there's no tax. Do you know what I mean? The electric motor went, but it's covered under the warranty, because that's the reason why I got that car. Big long warranties with the Teslas. And yeah, 60, 70,000 miles driven in 2 years at 2p a mile. Mostly. So what's that? 1,400 quid in Lecky. So 1,400 quid in Lecky, 2.5 grand. Call it 50, call it 2 grand in Lecky. 2.5, call it 5 grand. In servicing, maintenance, repairs, and running costs.
How long?
For my car, 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, no, that's all me Lecky though. That's 70,000 miles
Well,
driven around.
Only 10 years?
No, I mean that's including me Lecky.
But so was his.
Yeah, but you're comparing a Nissan Leaf to my automobile. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but still.
Nissans are bulletproof. 7-year-old Teslas are sceptical. It's well known that it's took Tesla years to get the build quality and everything else gone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Raf's just put £2,000 on my tyres. That's about right, Raf. One every couple of months. But no, seriously though, you think about it. If I done my car 70,000 miles in my car at 15p a mile, do you know what I mean? There's 10 grand, 11 grand just in diesel and petrol. I've spent 5 grand on maintenance, running costs, and all the repairs. And you tell me doing this job, it's not beneficial being an EV car. I don't know. And by the way, if I had my car and I had a Model 3, say, they're a hell of a lot more reliable, the newer, the tech's better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But don't forget, what about the stress of driving in an EV car, though?
There's no stress. I don't get this. There's no stress in driving an EV car.
Oh, come on. How many voice notes do you ever put that? Oh, God, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
I get to joke.
Guys, I've got 2% left on my battery.
Yeah, but what I mean is not like, so in my car,
if I'm no heating, it's -10 outside. I can't put my heating on because I can't.
I've never done that, you lying. Don't be lying in public.
I did it for 6 months last Christmas because you couldn't afford to get your heater fixed.
Because my heater was broke, not because I was trying to save range. My heater was broke, not because I couldn't afford range. Oh, God, no, but no. Seriously, right? On my car, if I'm in Birmingham and I set my destination to home, it'll tell me how much percentage I'll have when I get home. And I get home with that percentage, give or take 1%. So if I set my destination and it says 3% home, I just drive home. There's no stress or worry. Do you know what I mean? The supercharger network is brilliant. It just automatically puts a stop in. You know how many chargers are available. I think it's a bit more stressful in the non-Tesla cars, but I don't know if you know now. They're all got that system now. Even on the Zap map, you know the Zap map where you can see all the chargers in your area? All charging types now are reporting how many you've got available, which I think is fantastic. Do you know what I mean? So even if you've got a non-Tesla, you can just have a look at your local charger on the Zap app and go, oh, let's have how many chargers available. And just look, and it's dead easy now. I think it's getting better and better anyway. Do you know what I mean?
So,
yeah, honestly,
mate, that sounds unbelievable. Get an electric car if I could charge at home, especially
Tesla, Nick.
No.
So, what would you go for? If you could home charge, what would you go for?
If I could home charge?
Yep.
Probably fully driving around and looking at cars, I'd probably... I'm torn between an EV6 or a Hyundai Ioniq 5.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. Yeah, I was just about to say it. They're the leaders then. They're the leaders. They're they're so good cars, mate. I'd get one if it didn't do the little bit of exec work. I'd definitely get the Ioniq 5 is a lot more space. What
are the ranges on then?
Massive. Same as new Leca cars, or 300 plus, isn't it? 400, depending on the size of the battery.
Do you think eventually there'll be one come out that's 500?
What, sorry?
Do you reckon eventually there'll be one that's going to be guaranteed 500?
Yeah. Well, look at the EQS is 450. Not real world range, by the way. I'm on about just like reported 450, mate.
So what would you really get out of that? 380, 390?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's already getting there, but don't forget, lad, they're bringing out these new batteries next year. I read somewhere like BYD's bringing out batteries that can charge in 5 minutes up to 90%, like rapid charge. Honestly, it's all the new tech now. I reckon give another 5 years, mate. I reckon it'll be like plug in, unplug, just like a petty station. Do you know what I mean? And super fast charging and big ranges. I reckon that's going to be the game changer. As soon as you can get a minibus that does 300-400 mile range, I reckon that'll be the game changer. Like,
I just don't get
it'll be so expensive to buy
already.
What?
I don't know why manufacturers are dragging the feet with minibuses being a full EV.
You can't.
Why?
Wait to aerodynamics. The technology is not there yet. If you put a 100 kilowatt battery in a flipping Ford Teneo, it's going to be an absolutely awful range. Do you know what I mean? So the only way they're going to do it is when the batteries get cheaper and bigger and lighter. Do you know what I mean? So then when the car is like massive and like not very...
Haven't they got full EV trucks out there now?
Yeah, they only go about 60 miles.
Yeah, and also, I think they go a bit further, but also I think they've got like, say, 200 kilowatt batteries, mate, which you can never physically fit on a car. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to find... Kia's just brought an MPV out, full electric. I can't find it.
Should have seen this Kia that flew past me the other day. Oh my God. It looked like a Rangy.
EV9.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
It flew past me that fast. I only noticed the front of it was the same as my car, but it was like a Rangy.
7-seaters, them, you know.
That was a beast. I was like, I want. If it didn't have a passenger in, I would have turned around and chased it just to look at it.
Mate, honestly, they're flipping unreal. Do you know the bad thing about them? 80 grand.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a Kia, mate. Yeah, that's the one. PV5 coming soon. Yeah. It's rivaling the ID Buzz, I think.
Look at the state of them.
Postman Pat.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah, look at it.
From the side, looks all right.
The thing is, though, mate, if that can carry 7 passengers with luggage, with a big range, then it's got to be things for the airport game. You know what I mean?
I still wouldn't drive it.
What?
Look at the kip of it. I wouldn't drive it.
Listen, dead quick before we finish, because it's getting a long one. Big update to the airport. Obviously, both of you have seen it with the barrierless system.
Yep.
What do you reckon, good or bad?
Good.
Best thing Manchester Airport has done.
Just remember to pay, but
just the automated system. Just
sign up to that. Yeah.
Just eliminate that completely.
If
they didn't have that automated system in there, I'd be fuming. Like, to be fair.
Oh, do you mean you'd have to log on and pay it the next day every time? Yeah. Like, and also, I don't know if you're aware, the concession card is automatic as well.
Yeah,
which is brilliant. Yeah. So, like, when you auto payments, they'll go, it'll go, Reg, it'll go £6. He's got a concession, £3, charge him. I can't wait, mate. The only negative is the public. I think it's a bit mean on the public. You know, if you're dropping your mates off or your family member, you don't know much about it.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But Mark's a taxi driver and he fell for it in Stansted, didn't you?
Forgot.
Just forgot. the next day and all that. So I reckon a lot of people are going to get peed off with the airport and how much they're going to get stung by it. I think it's midnight the next day. It's going to cause mayhem, mate.
I'm sure they said, was it 48 hours?
No, the following day by midnight. Following day by midnight, innit?
Yeah, but if you pay within 48 hours, you get your fine less or something. I'm not too sure, actually. I thought it was 12. I thought it was midnight the next
48 hours.
Unless you got to pay your fine within 48, possibly. I'm not too sure.
No, you'll have
all the information's on DM News, guys. It's
fine
a great news website.
Fine won't even reach you in 48.
Yeah, true. Oh, last one. I had to mention it. Either of you two work the airport on Uber, or you have done?
I haven't.
No, not really. I stick around for my time available.
I can't, can I?
That's it. So Liverpool on Uber.
I will do next year.
Used to be able. What?
Because I can't do the airports, can I? Because we ain't got one. We ain't got one here. But I will do it next year when Donny opens.
Oh God, yeah. I forgot about that. You're getting your own little airport, aren't you, man? Hey, listen, lad. So Liverpool, you used to be able to, and Manchester, you used to be able to sit in a queue for hours, wait until you got to the front of the queue, and then you could cherry pick. You could sit there for another hour and just deny little crappy jobs and pick the big ones, right? But of course, mayhem from obviously there's loads of small jobs and 5-10 quid jobs getting denied. So, which is crazy. This used to be the way it is now. Manchester's reverted the way it used to be. So just say you wait in the queue at Manchester Airport, Mark, right? And you're in the queue for 4 hours. I think what I've been told by a few lads, you get 3 offers. And then you get put to the back of the queue. Do you reckon that's a good thing or a bad thing? Great for passengers, but good thing or bad thing for drivers, mate?
I don't know. Because you could be waiting, like you say, you could be waiting there for hours and you might get a £7 one, a £6 one, an £8 one.
And then back to the back of the queue.
You're not going to do it, are you? But
no, but it protects you. It does. I'm sure you get a thingy for small trips, don't you?
Priority come back.
About the priority return? Not always, Mick. You do sometimes, but not always.
Mm.
Well, I mean? I think it's
a good thing. At the end of the day, if you work in the airport, you should be taking the job that comes off you. The Acnes can't have a chance. Don't have a choice. And they could sit there for hours, do you know what I mean?
Acne behind me. Never would they?
It doesn't happen, do you know what I mean? And especially when they pay to be at the airport as well, do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's luck of the draw, isn't it? You just get that job done, join the queue again, and if everyone's doing it, the queue will be moving much quicker as well.
That's what I was just about to say. Will that solve the queuing issue? Because if you wait for 4 hours and then you're at the front of the queue with another 10 drivers who are cherry picking the big job, is that just making the queue massive?
No, I think it'll calm down.
Do you reckon the queue, you just wait in the queue, get a job, take the job, 100%. Get back to the queue, take the job, get back to the queue. Do you reckon it'll be like that? And it's more like luck of the draw instead of sleeping in your car for 8 hours.
And that's when you want to be at an airport anyway. Why would you go and work an airport? At the end of the day, if I was at an airport and I thought, oh, hang on, there's a flight landing here, I'll sit off for a bit and work it and see what I get. If it took a gamble and I get a £7 for the hour I've waited, I'd use it to my own advantage. I wouldn't sit there all day, all night. Do you know what I mean? Working.
People, when the flights and there's no flights throughout through the night, people get in the queue and sleep. Then they'll wake up in the morning and they'll be at the front of the queue when the flights start coming in. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Stuff like that happens where now you just can't do stuff like that now. Live, it's not forcing the driver to take a job because it's still your own prerogative if you want to take it or not. But if you don't, they want you to be available to take work. If you don't take the work, they can rightly put you to the back of the queue. Do you know what I mean? That's their prerogative. They're not forcing you to take a job and moving on, because that would obviously be against self-employment. Armstrong, what was the boys taking 9-10 years ago as much as double what you take now? I can't comment that. I've been on for 5-6 years, but pre-COVID, I don't think the trade ever returned after COVID, in my opinion. I think it's been a struggle up and down, month by month, since COVID. To be honest, I think COVID and people's mentalities and people's way of living changed since COVID. The people working from home massively improved. People's mentality going out clubbing, going to pub, or they'd rather stay at home with a pint or a glass of wine and watching the telly. I reckon the whole mentality of people changed since COVID, and I think that what massively affected the whole trade. What do you reckon about that, kids? Am I right or wrong, or what?
I think, yeah.
Nick, were you getting distracted?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, flipping nightmare, lad.
Sorry. I honestly thought you were just ending the podcast.
No, what I was saying is, Armstrong's put what we used taking 9-10 years ago. We taking much as double as what you're taking now. And I said to him, I can't come 6-7 years ago. But after COVID, I think the trade never fully returned.
No, it hasn't. Especially the nightlife.
I think when it first come here, the definite. I'm trying to think now. It like the minimum fare here is how much is the minimum fare now? About $3.40.
What, Uber?
Yeah.
Driver,
I'm sure the minimum fare back then were something like £5, something like that. I'm sure it was. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's always been around £3. No, but Mark, that's the dynamic pricing that come in.
I know.
That only come in like a year or so ago, 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? But COVID was even longer than that now, wasn't it? COVID was like 4 years ago. But I still think, even before dynamic pricing, before they were taking a commission, I'm on about just the general trade, the volume of work, how busy it was. I think that's just generally down as well.
I think it's the generation as well. I think the generation's changed.
100%.
I think it's picking up a bit more though. I think for 2 or 3 years,
we're Generation Y, aren't we? We were talking about this last night, me and it.
I ain't got a clue.
I don't know about letters, lad.
I think you might stretch into Generation X, Mark. And
Generation A.
Now is Generation Z, isn't it?
Mark's generation, Victorian times.
Generation A.
No, you're X.
You started a generation trend, didn't you?
Generation BC.
You'll be Generation X. I'm sure we're Generation Y, and then new generation just starting at Y, Z. But Generation Z.
I'm a millennial. Is that what Y is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're in the 30s, millennial, isn't it? Mid-80s.
But
what you're saying, Mick, is bang on. What I said it's the pubs, the mentality going to the pub. People rather stay at home and have a glass of wine and watching Netflix.
I tried to.
Kids these days aren't partying or hitting as hard as we were when we were younger. We had nothing to do. Do you know what I mean? Kids now would rather play a video game with their friends online and go out and hit the clubs up, whatever. Just the mentality of everything's changed, and COVID had made everyone reclusive.
I tried to get it out of a student who was in a final year, and I thought it might have been, and I think she was still a little bit too young to try and see what she was in the next generation. Do you know what I mean? And I'd like to get a student back in from 6 years ago and say to you, do you think the student industry and everything's changed now? Do you think many of them are going out as much as they used to and blah, blah, blah? I'd love to ask a student that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone like who was a student pre-COVID.
Yeah.
To the ones after COVID, do you know what I mean? The ones that have joined, I think the ones that have gone into uni after COVID, because we're 3-4 years away from COVID. Well, 4 years away from COVID since it happened now. Do you know what I mean?
6 years from the start date, mate, to November.
Well, 6. Exactly. So it is another level of uni. Someone that's gone through. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to find someone who joined uni probably pre-COVID or just before COVID hit us in March 2020.
Well, it's like
that year, how they see, like a year, maybe 2 years, maybe someone that joined a uni at like 2019 and they went through COVID in uni. Yeah. And how did it transition? Did it change from pre-COVID to thingy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but even as well, if you look at it, the buses, the little £1 bus, £2 buses, they never used to be a thing. COVID brought them in. The little red scooters, remember them? They weren't a thing. Those little red scooters, mate, you see everyone flying up and down them, like, all day long. Bing, 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 when you're flying about. Do you know what I mean? Ducky's just put everyone's skin, lads. Nobody's got any money for taxis. The amount of people that mind just walk instead of getting the taxis is a lot. He's put 100% COVID's fault.
It is, and I do believe that.
Live but students are going out less, mixed studies on show they're drinking less and going to the gym more. Gym Shark generation. 100% live. TikTok generation. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to be on TikTok having a pint with a beer belly, are you? You need to be like half decent looking and like hilarious like myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the nightlife has definitely felt it, 100%. And I feel that I don't know whether it is, but I feel like the daytime traffic, the daytime work has picked up more than what it used to be back in the day. Especially.
Also, have you noticed as well, nights now as well? Liverpool used to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every night there was a student event, there was a special event.
Yeah.
Remember when you used to go down, you used to go like all events every week, every night.
The Invisible Windy Factory used to have it every Tuesday night.
Yeah. What was the other one near the Baltic? On that corner. They used to have one all the time there.
34.
Oh, man, every student special night, one day, one day.
In there, Tuesday night, Invisible Winds. And then they used to have, what was the Blue Angel on the top of Seal Street used to be rammed of a Monday night.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen anymore.
Listen, boys, my bum's numb. Really numb. I keep moving because my bum's numb. I can't wait to get the office back set up. Stupid dog. Look how stupid the dog is. The bed's next to me, and she's asleep on the floor next to the bed. Bloody stupid dog. Listen, guys, it's been a flipping pleasure, as per usual. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go check out the Patreon and the YouTube membership. I will be posting a hell of a lot more stuff on there and pulling away from the public stuff. I do apologise, but your man's skint, so show me the money. No, jokes aside, I'm going to start I don't want to start rinsing you, but I want to start providing content. I want to start providing content more for me members as well, because they've supported me for years, especially Mick, Mark, a few others have been with me for years. I want to start supporting them a bit more as a thank you, do you know what I mean? So I want to start doing a lot more members only content and other stuff featuring members. But listen, thank you for tuning in as always. Thank you very much. And a special shout out to Ducky. All the best to you, mate. 18 years. Well done, mate. All the best. Good luck to you in the future. Keep in touch and let us know how you're getting on and stuff, yeah? Nice one, guys. I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to end the podcast now. Thank you very much. Thank you to Mick and Mark, as per usual, you gang of legends. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.